Good morning, walkers, on this glorious day in Sydney. It's time to hit up the RSPCA. We're gonna walk some dogs today, but I thought I'd give some folks a little tip. For anyone wondering if it's too hot to take your dog for a walk, take your hand, pop it down on the bitumen with the backside down, because that will tell you, if you can hold it there for 10 seconds, it's probably okay to take your dog for a walk. If you have to take your hand off there, it's guaranteed too hot for your dog's paw. And let's go walk some dogs.
Sorry walkers, unfortunately it was a bit too hot to be walking dogs on the 21st, so unfortunately we haven't got any walks today, but what we do have is some good information for you on how to entertain your dog with some enrichments. So I'll show you how to make a few of those, and we can do some more walks hopefully this weekend.
Good afternoon, walkers. Well, right now we are in quiet time at the kennels. So what we're actually doing is creating some enrichment for the dogs. And what we're actually going to do, I just thought it'd be something nice to show people at home what we actually do here. So I'm just cutting up some Devon ham, but you could use any kind of meats that your dog particularly likes. This is just a little something you can do at home. And what we're going to do, you can see I've got a bunch of kongs in front of me here. And what we're actually going to do is we're going to chunk up some nice small pieces of the Devon, and we're going to put handfuls into the kongs, and then we're going to seal them down with some peanut butter and cream cheese, just for something nice and cool for the dogs to enjoy on a hot day today, because we won't be able to get many more of them out for a walk. And that means we'll spend some kennel time with the dogs, and from there we'll see if we might be able to get a dog out for a walk. But the tarmac and areas around are a bit too warm right now, because it's a good 30 degrees outside at the moment, and yeah, we don't want to be injuring the dogs, getting them to go and play. But as you can see, I'm just making them nice and small so that once they get into the actual kong, past the cream cheese and peanut butter, they don't then get jammed inside, because then your dog will most likely just start chewing apart the kong, trying to get in at those last little bits, or they may stay inside the kong, and that can lead to, as we can see, a bit of build up inside the rim here. So we'll send that one back for another clean. But yeah, basically the goal is that once they get past the licking stage of getting rid of the cream cheese and peanut butter, they'll start to see these little chunker boys falling out. And we'll show you how to piece a few of them together in just a second. All right. So we've got them all nicely chunked up there, and on a hot day like today, some nice cool meat will go a long way to bring some happiness to a few of these dogs. And so here we've just got a standard small to medium sized dog kong, and we're just going to grab a bit of a handful and feed him in. And there we go. And because we're going to make a few, we'll feed a few of these in now. Right, that's good for that one. Well, somebody gets a little bit of hamburger mince. So we're in the kitchen area at the moment here at the dog meal prep area. So all the staff come in here and prepare all the dogs' meals. As we can see, we've got pretty much every kind of dog food you could think of to try and keep everybody from gastrointestinal to professional to urinary, GI, energy, sensitive, allergenic, hypoallergenic, satiety, some pre-prepared kibble and some chicken. And in this side we've got just some regular fridge items, some chickens thawing out, and some kibble that's pre-prepared. It's always a good idea to soak your kibble before you actually use it, because this can actually, by not doing that, you can actually potentially cause your dog to dehydrate a little bit. So in summer, it's always a good idea to have a little, either a lot of extra water on standby for them, or to be able to soak that kibble sometimes overnight. Yes, it does make it a bit soft, and some dogs may not go for that. So do it on a test first before you actually go making up lots of it. And I would only ever really prepare it a few hours to maybe a day in advance if you were going to do that. Here we got a little baby Kong for some of the itty bitty dogs that we got here. Either a puppy maybe, or a small Chihuahua. And we'll fill that up to there. And again, we don't want to overfill them. We want them to be able to start dropping out as soon as they start flicking that Kong around trying to get at them. And the smaller the chunks, the easier it is for them to get out. Just remember, if you're giving this to them inside a house, just those little chunks, make sure they don't get left around so you get rodents turning up. And you don't want them going off and them finding it a bit later on and then eating that once it's had a chance to go off, because that could lead to all sorts of problems for you, especially inside a house. And as we can see, as these keep tumbling over, a few chunks are falling out already, which is a good start. Let's just lean you there. And this isn't their meal, this is just an enrichment tool that makes being in their kennel a little bit playful and gives them a chance to both chew on a Kong and also to get some rewards for not having to do anything, just to show them that, hey, sometimes rewards just come. Good dogs get good treats, and that's what we like to see here. All right. Actually, I've got enough to make another Kong up there. So we might come over here and find a different type of Kong. There we go. All right. So now that we've got all of our Devon into our Kongs, we're gonna wanna seal them up a little bit. And don't worry, this isn't like your home peanut butter where it is, but we're not too worried about sticking the knife back into the container after it's touched a Kong. We're just gonna put enough paste on just to semi-seal up that top of that Kong. It doesn't matter if it's slapped down on the sides. We don't want it too heavily sealed though, because what'll happen, again, you can get a build-up on the inside there, and you'll end up with the dog trying to chew to get that part, and your Kong will get destroyed pretty quickly. These things are pretty robust, but they're not totally indestructible. And of course, you could use any other kind of enrichment toy. Doesn't have to be a Kong. And you'll see in a second, I'm also going to create a couple of other types of chew enrichments. So we're just starting with sort of a half seal of peanut butter. Just to keep those little chunks, and anything that falls out, we'll just land that back in there. And again, doesn't have to be super clean. In fact, the more of it that sort of runs around the side, the more likely the dog is to lick that off as well. So Right. So that's our peanut butter side. Now, here we just got some cream cheese. And clean this chunk off the roof there. And we're just going to use that to fill up the other half. Doesn't have to be super neat. They're just going to eat it and lick it off straight away anyway. What we'll eventually do is we'll take these up and we'll just toss them into the kennels with the dogs and let them have at them for a while. Now, like with any toy, we don't want to leave it in there long term with them because they will eventually start to get frustrated and chew at them, and then they end up eating little chunks of plastic, so we don't want that. But we just want them to have a bit of time to enjoy their sensory perceptions, and that's what this is about, getting them to investigate things and find new ways to engage themselves. All right, so that's our Kongs all prepared, and now we're gonna do a quick cleanup, and then we'll take these up and give them to the dogs once quiet time's over. All right, I hope that helps you find some new enrichments for your own dog at home. All right, so we said we'd show you some other enrichment toys. This is another style of enrichment toys. You can see I've just jammed that full of Devon for the moment. And then I always wondered what these were for until I came here. I didn't even think that this is what you would do with it. I thought the dog was just supposed to chew it and it held all the funny things for their teeth. But what we do is we then just gonna do some peanut butter and cream cheese on this once we've jammed it full of Devon. And as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh my God, that makes so much more sense now. Well, I wondered why they had something where you couldn't even really jam a treat in easy, but it's for stuff like this. And then they lick at it and chew at it, and it cleans their teeth while they do it. What a brilliant idea. So, there we go. And there's one for a needy beady pupper if we find one. And we got this guy here, and we are ready to go. So I hope that helps give a bit more idea of what you can do for enrichment for your dog at home. Help make a happy pupper within your own home. All right.